Welcome to the show, what a wonderful delight. Yeah, Potsy and T-Ross better chop up on the mic. Just sit back, have a laugh, catch a vibe, and enjoy the ride. Yeah.
Today's episode is brought to you by your new favorite vodka, GameDay Vodka. Smoother, better vodka that embodies the spirit of the game. Check out GameDay Vodka on social to see if they rep your team's colors. Shout out to GameDay Vodka. You see it back here. Bottles are back.
Shout out the brand. Shout out the team, GameDay.
Shout out the game. Go get their stuff in store, especially if you're out in Florida. I know they're in Publix and out there.
Yep.
All those. And then if you're anywhere else, they can ship international. I had people hitting us up from Toronto asking if they could get bottles. I mean, they have all different colors, team colors. Rep your team's colors, man. It's awesome, and it's good stuff.
Yeah,
I've had a lot of
that team spirit, baby. Get that team spirit. Get that team buzz.
Yes,
enjoy some game day.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
I'm excited about today's episode. It's we had a great talk with one of the best.
Whatsherface.
Whatsherface.
Yeah, with Whatsherface. Yeah. Whatsherface? Yeah, Whatsherface. No, she's really cool, man.
I think people are.
I've been on her page. Yeah, I've been on her page for a while, for some months now. So she's super fun. She has a lot to say. She's super informative. She's down to earth. So this is definitely a fun episode.
What's good with you though, man? You coming off a win last night?
Yes, sir.
Feeling good, huh? One of the hottest guys off the bench.
You know me, bro. Just play my game, shoot my shots, do my thing. You know me.
I got a question. I know you don't only talk basketball, but do you think? I mean, after you guys, it seems like your team is like the same exact for like the last 3 years, and it feels like everybody like underestimates you guys, and it's like, that matter?
Nucleus.
That matters though. I feel like that's a big deal when you.
I mean,
it seems like you guys know what, like, it just seems like it's so fluid now. Like,
yeah, I mean, we just have a way to play, and we know each other, and we have that familiarity with each other, and we all kind of, it's been, at least with me, it's been 3 years. With those guys, they've been there even longer. So
yeah,
and that's the thing, like GMs, or not GMs, but organizations want their teams to, they want them to grow, and they want them to have like that nucleus, but if it doesn't grow as fast as they want to, they don't go as far as they want to, then, sometimes it gets broken up. But it's a shame because a lot of these teams, man, you keep them together for, 3, 4, 5 years, like, they get that. I think that's what make, like, you can find a team like the Spurs. You know how they had, like, Manu, Tony, Tim, and
all
even
guys,
like, with Kawhi, like, yeah, like
they came and
they had all those guys forever. And you could see, like, that's that type of system, having those guys together for a long time. And, granted, they're Hall of Fame players, but it's the same formula, but at the same time, we just know how each other's play, and we've been playing each other long enough to know, what works for us. And
that's true though. Cause like you said, I feel like people they don't get enough time. And I feel like
just imagine OKC.
Yeah.
Like the big three there. Who knows?
It's like with everything though. It's like if you don't win now, it's kind of like coaches gone.
Oh yeah.
Like you see these NFL coaches, they're at somewhere for 2 years and then they're gone. Like
out of there. That's the game, bro. It's a time sensitive thing. Like you have to win now, or you're not going to have that chance, and it's just going to be wasting time. And next 5, 6 years go by, and those guys have gotten a little older, and now it's time to rebuild. So, either way, we don't know like this right now. So
yeah, I feel that. That's a dope shirt though. I didn't even notice that.
Ox Life, baby. Shout out 2K Tom.
2K Tom's been
I need some more.
Up, huh?
Yeah, I need some more long sleeves, bro. If we shout this dude out one more time, we're gonna be taking sponsorship dollars from him.
I told him he needs to send us some stuff over. And shout out to my boy who hooked me up.
He sent me one free shirt a month. Come on, bro. I'm shouting you out.
Yeah, for real. What
This is tough though. I'm not gonna lie.
That is clean. I like the long sleeves too, for real.
It has that vintage smell. That Goodwill smell, thrift store, the original.
So, that's been sitting somewhere for a long time is what
it's
you're
been
saying?
sitting for 20 years. Yeah.
Is that from 90? That's from 94?
It's from 93.
Oh, 93. Is that when he went?
Definitely not.
Oh, it's 97.
No.
Was it 97?
No, I don't think
it's been so long. I just fucking forget all that shit.
95 or 96. 95 or 96. Was it 95 or 96?
God, think about that. That's
We don't know
20
shit. We was young. We were like
25
4 or 5.
4 or 5 years old. But my sister had me slapping Tupac at a young age, which was just being white in the suburbs in North Seattle. My sister has a Mercury Sable, an old Mercury Sable, and we're like, my sister's 8 years older than me, so we're bumping Tupac. I'm just a little kid, like white suburbs of North Seattle, just.
But it happens though. It happens every. You don't think there's a kid out here in
For sure.
Windermere
Oh,
listening to
Little Baby,
King Von yelling "fuck 63rd"? Like it happens, bro. Every generation has those. That soulful white kid. Soulful.
There's probably more nowadays just with social media.
Oh yeah,
it's
for sure.
Speaking of that, you got me. I forgot we didn't talk about it. You got me hooked on those fucking street news. This guy right here.
Oh man, yeah, bro. So like for the last, and it's not just me. It's Shadi. Rashad's he's into it, by the way, too. But no, we've been listening to the King Von and the whole Chicago drill rap scene, and it's just a crazy savage way of life they got going on over there. So that was all popping off, really.
Yeah, but then you're sending me
a lot last month.
Street news. So I click on it.
Bro, like, okay, street news.
What's street
unreal.
news? Go look it on YouTube. And what's the dude say when he opens up? What's good? Or what does he say?
What happened, family? What happened, family? It's another episode of Street News. It's your boy.
So basically, let me explain to the people. It's basically, and it's
gangland.
Exactly. It's like when we get obsessed with,
but it's like stuff, real street news, bro.
It's like nowadays, like mafia shit that like now it's just the streets of Chicago, and it's just like going down bad. He goes through each person.
He gives you maps. He gives you fucking areas, block history, set alliances, beefs. It's fucking unreal, bro. It's a great production he has going on. The intros to each episode get you going. We need to get him on. Facts. We need to get anyway. Yeah.
No, but it's funny because the first person I click on is Billy the Kid, the only white dude.
White kid. That's the one I sent you first.
And he ends up dead in the back of his trunk, burning.
You'd be surprised how many of those episodes end up that way.
Dude, it's crazy. That's a whole different world out
there. Yeah.
Well, let's get into this interview with Whatsherface, and hope you guys enjoy. Before we get into this conversation with Whatsherface, today's show is also brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in man's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Tell me how you feel about it, Terrence.
I love it, man. Actually, last night I just passed a bunch of them out after the game. I had some of my teammates going crazy because they all kind of getting that. Well, not that they get the bush, but I gave it to the hairiest guys on the team. Let's put it that way. And yeah, man, I love it. I've been using it. I use it all the time. Actually, I like to stay nice and smooth down there. And Manscaped really helps with that. No nicks. Comes with a little baby flashlight. So shout out Manscaped.
Yeah, and like the other thing is you can use it in your shower. It's waterproof, which is unbelievable. You can get it soaking wet. It doesn't matter, which is nice because then you don't have to get hair everywhere in your fucking bathroom. Right, and then the battery lasts forever. Like I haven't even had this thing plugged in, and look, you can still grab it and boom. I could just trim the top of this and it'd be smooth as an egg, baby.
I'm mad that you keep your nut shavers that close to your mic.
No, I clean it, and I have two. So
nice.
I bought one like a year ago because I was like, hey, nice. I want to hop on, I want to hop on board with this Manscaped thing. I mean, I listen to podcasts.
Now, is that the used one or the new one?
This is the new one.
That looks used. Okay.
No, this is the new one.
Okay.
And it's clean, and I clean it.
Oh, perfect.
And I keep it if I do use it, I use it in the shower, so I clean everything off.
Nice. So you use both?
No, I have one in the shower, and I have this one right here. I just keep it right there.
I got it. Okay.
Because this one's nice. It has a stand. They come with a stand. The other one didn't come with a stand, and you plug it in the charger in the back. But Manscaped's doing their thing. Shout out them.
Shout out Manscaped. We love it. Thank you guys.
Use the promo code TRP31 to get 20% off and free shipping, and make sure you go to their website and use that. And the code is TRP31. Your balls will thank you. And here we go.
I am so checked out of it.
Did we win?
Yeah, it starts to blend. I've been playing for a while. It starts to blend every game. So
I'll be honest, I don't know shit about basketball. I do know you're doing very well though.
I've been trying.
And that you're a meme now.
Yes, that is a highlight of the year so far. Is I'm
Actually, I was just watching your fans only podcast.
Fans only.
Oh,
yeah.
fans
And
only.
I just cut it off where you were talking about manscaping.
Oh yeah.
We,
Good
trust
stuff.
me.
Good
We're
stuff,
actually
good
just
stuff.
talking. I was just telling him I was handing out a whole bunch of Manscaped packages to the team last night, like I was Santa Claus, and they're all loving it. They all wanted some. Most of the guys are hairy though, so I gave it to like the hairiest guys in order. But yeah, shout out Manscaped. But yeah,
Shout out Manscaped.
we want to start. We can start like this. I guess we're recording already.
Yeah, we already recording.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so
And we are
today's
not
guest.
live, right?
No.
We're not there yet.
Live. We're not there yet. Yeah,
I did one of these once, and I had no idea we were live for about 15 minutes. So
talk about
Trust me,
that. Terrence did the same thing and dropped 60 F-bombs on radio.
We're on radio. We're on radio, and he didn't tell me that we were on radio. I thought we were just on some guy's random podcast, just talking, shooting the shit. I'm dropping F-bombs every other word, and I was just like, I didn't know. He was just like, and at the end of all of it, he was like, yeah, I know our sponsorships are probably having a heyday with this one, but we have to cut all that out. So we could use every other word. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, they went to commercial.
Like a degenerate.
He went to commercial quick. I was
bad.
watching it live. I was like, texting him.
Oh yeah, he was like,
stop.
bro, oh God, we're about to pay like $10,000 in fines. I was like, really? He was like, no, but that was pretty bad. I was just like, oh. But yeah, that's me. So we're not live. You can say whatever you want. You can curse anything you want to say. It's all.
I mean, I'm
going
to say
we hardly edit,
anyway,
but. Good. For real, right at home. But let's get into it. Today's guest, welcome back to another episode of the TROSS Podcast. Today's guest is none other than Whatsherface. Do we have to say underscore Whatsherface underscore? Or we just say Whatsherface? Just Whatsherface?
There were too many Whatsherfaces on Instagram.
Out there, yeah.
So I had to double underscore it.
Yeah, you have the most notable and famous one out of all the other Whatsherfaces by this point. But
maybe I can buy them out.
Yeah, and you probably they're probably all no profile pages anyway at this point. But yeah, so how would we just start? You have a crazy following on YouTube, and I hate using the word conspiracy because at this point it's not what it is.
Yeah.
But what do we call it? You're woke, but
I don't know. The thing is, I hate all the words. I hate truther.
Yeah.
Truther.
Woke. Yeah.
Truther.
Yeah.
Or truth.
No, for sure. Because when you say stuff like that, when people say conspiracy, truth, or whatever, I feel like that automatically turns people off just to listening, even though no matter what no matter what you have to say. And I hate that because that right there is I don't know. I feel like that's the main part. You have to walk through that.
To talk about, right? So I believe there's a lot of conspiracies that they kind of plant into the community to discredit everyone, right?
Oh, for sure.
So flat Earth, I believe, is one of them. Not to say I don't believe in flat Earth. I have no idea what kind of Earth we're on. We could be floating around on a giant elephant. For all I know, I have no clue what kind of Earth we're on. But I believe that's one of them because you notice if you see any article that tries to discredit someone talking about the Great Reset or vaccines or anything like that, it immediately goes Trumper, flat Earther, anti-vaxxer. Usually,
and
that is true.
I'm not gonna lie because that's kind of how it's weird because when you hear those things, you automatically just kind of think okay, it's gonna be something crazy off the wall. But as soon as you start to just either watch or read what you're looking at, it starts to not make sense in a way that you're just all right, everything that I've been told up to this point in my life is kind of shaky. You just keep asking questions. And I feel like
the thing is, as soon as somebody looks into it a little bit, the thing is most people won't read past a headline. So as soon as they see that headline, they check out. And they know that that's how that works, right?
Is it because they don't?
For sure.
Is it because they don't want to they just don't want to know the truth? Is that what it is? I was talking to Terrence about this. Is it because people are just they don't want to know what's real and they just want to keep pushing stuff away, or what is it?
I think it's a couple of things. I think some people just don't want to be associated with outcasts. Yeah. So people are very social and people have evolved to cooperate in groups, right? That's how we survived as a species. So I think as soon as you kind of check out from that, you start to get worried about being that outcast person because it does become like that. I've had so many people message me where they're just like, what do you do? I've lost all my friends. I'm losing all my friends. What do you do? I'm like, I've been weird for like 14 years, so I already did all that bullshit.
Yeah, that's
No, I'm
the
good.
hard part. Yeah,
That's true.
If it wasn't for this guy, I'd be,
Right?
I don't know who had to like dump all this random information on in the middle of the night when I'm like fucking just like sitting there thinking about just
Like the Netflix thing you
like,
told me last night.
yeah, that
Oh,
didn't
the
put me to
Netflix.
sleep at all.
Did you go down the Netflix rabbit hole?
Yes, I did last night, reading about everybody's uncle.
I actually went down that one with you guys because I knew Netflix had like a bit of a shady situation going on, but I didn't know it went that deep.
Yeah. So okay, let's talk about that a little bit. So yeah, okay, we'll let you start because I read a little bit of it and I start to get like I start to get the gist of everything, and it is like I told you, like that little Mr. Krabs head swirling thing, that's what started happening
I
to
feel like
me.
you exited because then you sent me something about ID 2020 and I was like, Terrence.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Trust me. That's what happens. But that's the thing. We're also, me and this guy, we're in this room. We're in this
oh my gosh
chat room on Instagram called
multiples.
the Red Pill Room.
Yeah,
And that's what I get flooded with this stuff constantly, and I'm just like, my head hurts, and then I'm just like, okay, I got to take a break.
It can be a lot. It's like
it can be a
information
lot really fast.
right?
Yeah, it's like
Okay, so the whole thing with Netflix, both of the founders have very interesting family history. Specifically, Mark Randolph. So his great grand uncle is Sigmund Freud.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like that's hard to
obviously studying the
fathom.
unconscious desires that control people. And then his great uncle, Sigmund Freud's nephew, is Edward Bernays, who is the father of American propaganda.
How do those guys? How did this? So there's this is a lot to take in, but there's no way that this happens by chance. There's no way.
No way.
It almost seems as though there's just a few families out there, you know, few families, and they control their own little area of whatever corruption it is, right? So you have like the bankers, and then you have the propagandists.
Yeah. So you have like that, because I've heard that too. Like it's like the 13 royal bloodlines or something. It's like the what is it? The Rothschilds. It's a whole bunch of different. It's like the royal family is a whole bunch of different. But yeah, like you said, that's why the owner of Netflix, his great grandfather can be Freud. If that's not Sigmund Freud himself from some crazy, himself just living for 1,000 years, just because that's the type of crazy shit that's going on behind the scenes. But for me, it made me think that Netflix now is pretty much like just another form of brainwashing that we all kind of just had no idea was going on. It actually
sparked my interest just because I was noticing that Netflix was becoming more and more. It was just a propaganda machine. And then every new thing that was released, I was like, if you really think about how much they're shaping public opinion, right? So like you wake up in the morning and everybody's talking about the same thing on Netflix. And you think that's just like coincidental, like, oh, just the algorithm. No, they're putting out. So even before COVID, I don't know if you guys remember this, but they released that Bill Gates documentary.
Yep, I watched it.
Yeah.
Talk about how wonderful he was and how his brain works like a computer and he's such a genius.
He reads 14 books a week or whatever.
His favorite book is actually called How to Lie with Statistics.
I saw that. Right? So funny. I saw that in one of the videos that I seen in that Red Pill Room. But sorry, keep going. So weird.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things that happen on Netflix. You know, I think I don't know if you guys have watched 13 Reasons Why, where they're basically normalizing and glorifying teen suicide.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was too much for me to watch. Like when it got to like that, when it got to that last episode of her in the tub, it was just too real. And I'm like, why is this on TV? Like, why? And it's like, it's the demographics almost towards like teenagers around that age. So I'm just like, I got a weird vibe from
like this really cool, noble thing to, you know, off yourself and leave whatever.
There's no way. Yeah, there's no way that should be out there for kids. And the fact that there's like 3 seasons makes no sense. Makes no sense. Like it's just too much, and it's kind of like it's ramming it down our throat. And for the other thing is like, I noticed that is it me or do you feel like when you pull up Netflix, and it brings up now has like this top 10 in the country, whatever.
Yeah.
There's certain movies up there that I'm just like, I know for a fact nobody's watching this movie, but like the way that they put things in order, that it's almost like they're trying to like ram it down our throats.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I feel like now with you saying or me reading that whole little Reddit article really makes me feel like, this is all
even Orange
just a
is
part
the
of
New
a
Black.
plan.
What are we doing? We're glorifying prison.
Yeah. And it's
They make prison seem like it's so much fun.
It's
what was the
wild.
other one? Cuties or whatever. That was awful.
Cuties, yeah.
I mean, like the sexual stuff in like younger age now is out of hand with like Euphoria. I mean, that's on HBO, but just all those, it's crazy.
Well, I was watching one the other day called Death to 2020. It's like a mockumentary.
I saw it. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it though.
So I watched a bit of it and I couldn't even handle how irritating it was. But it's interesting the way they do it too, because they come at it from a perspective of being neutral. Like they try to seem like they're neutral. So they're like, oh, we have no political affiliation. We're very neutral. But then when they mention the political leaders, it's like one is very clear. It's like very clearly biased. So they're talking about Joe Biden, where they're like, oh, he made sniffing women not that weird or something like that. And I was like, he wasn't sniffing women, he was sniffing children. So they, so they kind of come at it from this neutral perspective. And it does work on people. It's actually very clever.
I mean, with your uncle being, or sorry, no, I got to stop saying, but with your great grandfather being Sigmund Freud, like all this is starting to make sense. Like nothing is, to me, it sounds like a coincidence. And it's weird because I feel bad about it because, man, I got kids, man. Like, and it sounds bad, but like my kids love Netflix. Like they're watching, and like I was reading something else. I was watching something else saying that how like pretty much from ages like 2 to 7 years old, that's the time where like kids start to really, become programmed and kind of learn the rules of society. They start, and they start learning everything around them, because it's not like we're just sitting them down saying, okay, this is that. We do that for a lot of things, but they start to pick up a lot of things just based on, kids at school, teachers, other kids or other parents, like, so everybody around. So it's just, it sucks that they fucking love Netflix and this is like the most important years for them.
It's dangerous to leave your child in
and then I read
Netflix.
this and I'm like, fuck, bro. And it's like, it's just like, it's almost like it's too late, but it's just like, you want to do something, but
I know.
just feel so trapped right now. And that's, I think, I don't know.
Dude, are you going through the spiraling stage? Like where are you at?
I'm
You're good.
Yeah,
still?
I'm still going down that funnel of just like, it's getting faster towards the middle and I'm starting to get dizzy and I can't see.
Well, I think everybody starts with one thing and then it kind of snowballs and then it just gets to a place where you're like, nothing I've been told is true.
Is real anymore.
GameDay Vodka is the spirit of the game, a smoother, better all-American vodka, and a proud sponsor of this year's big game. GameDay Vodka invites you to count down to the big game with a chance to win the ultimate game day experience, including a new 75-inch TV, soundbar, barbecue, and $1,000 cash. Visit iHeartRadio.com/game to enter for your chance to win. That's iHeartRadio.com/game. So raise your game and score a bottle of GameDay Vodka at your favorite retailer. Must be 21 and older. No purchase necessary. Sweepstakes ends January 31st. Drink responsibly.
So I was telling her, I watched this documentary last night called I think it's called Baby God, and it's about a doctor that was a fertility doctor that was impregnating girls that were coming into because they couldn't have babies. So he ended up having like a ton of kids and was just giving it to all these women. And some girl from Portland did her 23andMe. And this is the thing I wanted to ask you was like,
how many babies you got?
Yeah. No. Well, like the thing is like 23andMe also, that's a whole nother side story, like the whole DNA collecting people's DNA, which is really weird. But she ended up finding out that she has like all these stepsisters or step brothers that have her like different last name, and huge rabbit hole. The dude was like doing it for years, 20-30 years, from the 60s to like all the way to 2000s. Crazy. And then,
strong sperm though, right?
That's what I'm saying. He must have strong. Just with a needle though, like he would just do it with the needle. They'd come in and they'd be like, "Oh, we can't have babies." He's like, "All right, I'll get you guys pregnant." And then
I was like, "Okay, I got the good stuff."
I was blown away, and he was molesting his kids. Like there's a whole bunch of creepy stuff that he was doing, and like, I
have to see. What's the name of Baby God?
Baby God. It's on HBO.
Yeah, there's a lot of middle ground between just girls can't have babies. They show up to his guy, and he's like, "I got an idea," and then there's needles involved, and now he has like a ton of kids. Like
especially in the 60s, they don't know. Like they They had no, like, the lady's like, I have no idea. Like, he just told us, you know, I'm mixing some semen together and giving it to you.
So
Like,
this,
the fuck?
so and that, wait, and doesn't the people who own like 21 and
23.
what is it? Yeah, don't they
23.
have like some shady background?
Oh yeah,
know.
they're collecting everybody's DNA and selling it off.
Yeah,
I
that's
told
already
everybody
not.
that when that came
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I was like, stop doing this. People were having parties, 23andMe parties.
Yeah, and fuck,
Let's
I
ship
didn't
off
have
our
a
DNA,
party,
it's
but
fun.
I for sure shipped off the DNA.
You
And Kid is
did?
just bullshit.
Oh fuck, I did.
Yeah, he's,
Oh,
he's
Terrence, you
Japanese.
got a lot of babies out there now.
Oh boy, it's not bad, but
Little
fuck,
NBA babies.
it's not bad. It's not great though. Like I don't want them to all be like, yeah, we're yours. Like
Then they
that would
come
be like
back.
that Vince Vaughn movie, which would be terrible. But but that's shady, man. That's a lot
Oh,
of
hell
that's a
yeah.
lot, and like we don't think anything of it too. That's the other thing I'm starting to like. I can't wrap my head around so much of the information that we have and that we take for fact. We're just relying on other people. Like until you start doing your own research and looking into a lot of different things, you will start to like see a lot of shit doesn't make sense, and a lot of shit is connected to some other shit that's also weird that doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah.
for example, like the whole thing that got me into this, I guess that kind of woke me up, was that fucking weird Jeffrey Epstein documentary.
Yeah.
Don't know why they would put that on Netflix. I don't know why they would show anybody that. But when I watched it, I just was like blown away about like, yo, how is this going on? Like, why is this happening? Why? And the more I asked why, is just like the deeper down this rabbit hole that you go. And then once you go in it, it's like you can't turn back. And then literally that happened in early March of last year. And now I'm sitting here telling this guy about flat earth every other morning. And I'm just like, how the fuck did I get here, bro? Like I can't
Where there's a
go
lot of
outside and
elements
just
to it,
enjoy
too.
shit. There's
Yeah,
so
I know.
much. Everything's, and the biggest thing is everything has been either fabricated, erased, or just lied about.
And it
And
gives
that's
people
the
a
part
chance
I'm
to
just
defend
like,
themselves too. It gives them a chance to defend themselves too on, you know, like even though they look like idiots, like the lawyer looked like, what's his name? I can't remember, but he's like, no, I wasn't with that girl. And then the girl's like, they switched to her and she's like, yeah, I was with you like 5 times. Like, what the fuck?
Well, I
He's
think
talking
there's a
about-
lot to that too with like, I don't know if you guys know about like controlled opposition and all of that kind of thing. So it's basically like there'll be some stories where you'll be like, why would they even release this? And
Yeah.
you know, there are certain elements to it where it's like sometimes it's just a distraction from something bigger. Or
Yeah.
for instance, controlled opposition, like you'll have a public figure, okay?
Mhm.
And he'll, you know, 95% of what he says is true, but the 5% that he lies about is the 5% that's going to enslave you. You know what I mean? So it's like they have like, there's so many aspects to it. It's really funny because once I started doing these videos, you get the messages from people all the time that have been, you know, in this community for a long time. And they're like, stay away from this guy, he's a snake,
Yeah.
and stay away from this
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
he's controlled op. And you're like, dude, I don't talk to anybody. I don't even like, I have one friend. What do you think I'm
Yeah.
doing? You think I'm out here talking to all these people?
For sure. And yo, it's crazy. Like I will say that the people who are, you know, aware of what's not aware of what's going on, but are kind of hip to the shadiness and all this bullshit, they are very passionate about what they know, and they're passionate about how asleep everybody else is. And I get it. And I feel like that is the one thing that is kind of holding us back, is not everybody's on the same page. Like
Right.
there's so much information out there and disinformation that like, yeah, we're sometimes going to either cross paths and not be on the same page or whatever. But at the end of the day, the biggest problem is all this shit is right in front of us, and and everybody's just kind of really just, they don't really even think about anything other than just like their day, job, work, kids,
Oh, I know.
family,
People
go
get
back home,
irritated
do it all.
listening to it.
It's so weird how like you get
They
so
don't want
caught
us
up
on the
into
same
that.
page though. They don't want us on the same page though. That's the whole thing.
It's
Yeah.
unreal. And it's hard. And it's like, even like there's whistleblowers, but at the same time, like when people say, oh, this is a whistleblower, I get nervous about that, because anytime it's a known whistleblower, you know that they're either giving you half information or they're just sent by whoever they're trying to expose
Right.
to kind of confuse people. And for me,
Or
that
they
just
end
makes
up suicided.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
it's nobody's, and that's the other thing. Like people, that it's a natural instinct to survive. Like nobody is going to try to
Right.
out somebody and just magically just disappear. Like the Clintons, I don't know how they are even a
He's
thing,
just
bro.
like his brain is just like
Oh, yeah.
firing off.
Oh, for
It's
sure.
so bad. That's what I'm saying. The suicide. When you think of suicide, I just think of the Clintons, regardless. So
I
you
mean,
have
go
like 50. How many people worked for them and all end up committed suicide
Oh
at one
yeah,
point?
50,
Hillary.
50
That
something.
is
Bro,
that is the devil
how do you-
incarnate right there. That woman.
The Clinton hit list.
How
Yeah.
does anybody just be like, hey, why would you ever decide to work for them? One, and two, how does anybody like just like, oh, that's completely normal. That's not fine. Like I don't know any psychiatrists or therapists who've had 56 patients all commit suicide.
Right.
And then everybody. But anyway, let me.
It's
not
like
get
that-
worked
what
up.
goes
Well, I think
back
it's
to,
also like
They're gonna come
Steven
after
said, a
us.
lot of people ignore a lot of this stuff because they don't want to know, and people are comfortable with their, sitting on their iPhone and watching their Netflix and going to work and doing the regular thing. And a lot of people don't want to know. There's also people who just wouldn't be able to handle
it.
that level of corruption. Like, I think you have to be a certain type of person to even be able to emotionally deal with certain things.
Yeah.
And like you said, with survival, if something's too much for someone to handle on an emotional level, they shut it down.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna snap. You're gonna lose
I mean, it's
yourself.
even when talking about what's happening in the world right now, like the Great Reset we talked about.
Mhm.
People will still call that a conspiracy, but there's nothing theoretical about it. I mean, we
No.
have all of our world leaders telling us straight up that they're on board with this plan for the Great Reset. The Prime Minister, I'm in Canada, the Prime Minister, he came out and said it. It's time for a Great Reset. And the Great
Okay.
Reset is really just a repackaging of Agenda 21, right?
Okay, so let's explain.
Yeah,
20 Agenda
explain that to
21
us.
a little
Explain that to
deeper.
me. A little bit.
Okay, so Agenda 21 is a UN plan that was made in the 90s, and it was signed on to by 178 countries. And it's basically a globalist plan to take over everything, to take over all water, food, plants, all means of production, and to have total control over everything, including human beings, right? So that's why we're kind of seeing what's happening right now, where we're shutting down all of our small businesses, because one of the main strategies for getting to that point is you have to eliminate the middle class. And how do you get rid of the middle class? You have to get rid of the private sector, and you have to get rid of small and medium-sized businesses. That's why we're now seeing, you can pack onto a plane with circulated air, and you can pack into a Costco or a Walmart, but your little mom and pop shop on the corner is, a breeding ground for
Or
disease.
NBA basketball game.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, your fault.
Do you still have is it still like the fake audience? Is that how the basketball games are still working?
50-50 right now. Like, so there's only like 5 teams that are allowed, Texas and Florida, go the South. But there's only 5 teams that are allowed to have fans in the arena, and it's only like a certain amount. So right now we can only have like 5,000 people in the arena, which they
Oh, but
usually
because you're in
19.
Florida, where it's like you're still pretty much normal over there, aren't you?
Oh,
It's a wide
like
open.
I see people walking around like no mask sometimes. I guess.
Oh
it's
yeah,
pretty
you
much
don't even
like,
know what we're dealing with in Canada. It's insane.
That's, and trust me, like trust me, I keep, so my wife, like a lot of her family's still in Canada, and they
Oh,
can't
okay.
even come out here and visit. So like we always are checking up with them. Like they're always stuck inside the house. They got curfew, and they live in Ottawa, so I think that's a little different, but they're still, for the
Well,
most
Quebec
part.
just went into like full lockdown. They have a curfew now, and
Yeah.
I'm in Ontario. We're usually like 2 weeks behind Quebec. So
it's
we're going to
coming.
be like full
It's coming for you guys.
curfew. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming for us.
For real.
Yeah.
But I heard
And
Florida's like one
I know,
place
like
right now.
that's like, free. So, we
Yeah.
can pretty much go do stuff. There's stores open. There's, movie theaters are open.
Restaurants.
Wow.
Yeah, restaurants.
I don't
you
even
go
remember what
inside.
it's like to go places. That's how long.
Trust me.
Well, I
Right.
visited
Like,
him. It was
I'm-
unbelievable. I gotta go.
Yeah,
was
was it
bad.
amazing? Where are you?
I'm in Washington, so Washington's pretty strict.
Oh, yeah,
So-
Yeah.
So we're like
So
starting.
you guys are pretty much on
roll
lockdown. I'm over here living it up.
They
And
keep extending
it's
it
good
back.
weather out here too. So I'm not really, it could be worse.
Yeah,
But,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. But yeah.
We're in dead of winter, can't go anywhere. I go downstairs in my elevator and people are like Blair Witch standing in the corner of the elevator, like face in the corner.
Yeah, it's. Do you remember those videos that came out when like we were like, I want to say like February before we start to see any cases? But when we first start to hear about, COVID or whatever the fuck what is it called? I forgot the original name of it. Coronavirus. Remember those videos? You remember those people that were like in China? They were just like collapsing and falling over.
I know.
And
Doesn't that look so stupid now when you look back?
Oh my! And
It's
to
so
me, that's
fake.
another thing. I was like, why do you guys think that? Like, don't you guys see something that's going on? Like, they were scaring the shit out of us before it came over here. I was like, I don't want to drop dead or just go unconscious because I have whatever sickness this is. And then it's literally goes from that to now people just don't really give a shit. And it's so weird.
Yeah,
And
maybe
that's one of the
they give
things
a
I
shit
think.
here. Trust me, man. These people are making shit up in their heads. They're like, my whole family's gone. I'm like, that's not true. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
And then you see the whole Wuhan stuff where they're like saying they're partying and doing all that. Like, is that fake or is that real? Like, I don't even know. Like,
I don't know what's going on anymore.
You can't trust anything that comes out of there, though.
Well, what
do we do for news? Like, where do we get updated on some factual shit that's really going down? I can't turn the news on, like literally.
Dude,
I get my news from your page. I get my news from your page, and pretty much it's like another page, but it's literally only a few places I can go. There's this guy on YouTube that he comes with like the daily like updates of like all the shit that goes on behind the scenes. So I mean, I really don't even know where I'm getting my news from. But I'm just more confused than I would if I just turn on CNN. So,
I mean, most of it's a distraction anyway. Most of it's divide and conquer bullshit. It doesn't really matter. We know what the agenda is. We know it's coming. It's just a matter of how they're strategizing to get us there, right?
Yeah.
So where do you think we are within that whole great reset? Because I mean, we had to be pretty like in the thick of it, I would think.
We're definitely in the thick of it. I mean, here in Canada, we're pretty much at the point where there's no turning back. Every single time I turn on the TV and watch the news, it's Trudeau spending $45 million doing this and dropping $1 billion there. So we're like fully in the debt. So the whole idea is we're going to be in so much debt that there's going to be a debt relief program. So all these businesses that are now shut down, I think like 10,000 businesses are already gone here. I don't remember the exact number, but once they get to that point, it'll be like, you'll get the debt relief, but you're going to have to give us ownership of your business, of your property. So the idea is to get us to a place where there is no property ownership. I don't know if you've seen like the World Economic Forum thing that they put out where it was like by 2030, you won't own anything and you'll be happy. So the idea is there won't be. Yeah. Have you seen that? Yeah. So the idea is there won't be any property ownership and everybody will, they paint it as this, because they want to push everybody out of the rural areas and into these mega cities, right? So they kind of paint it as this utopian society where we'll all be living equal and
socialist.
We'll all be, but it's, we're going to be living in the slums and they're just going to be taking from us and we'll be.
This is like it's making me feel like I'm about to live in Mad Max in 2030. Like that's what's gonna feel. It's not even gonna be a utopia. It's gonna be a dystopia. Like I feel like it's gonna get worse. So
we're in it.
I don't know.
And it seems like that's like what China's in now.
Right.
Where there's just
we're gonna be living like I'm not gonna be living like China. Knock on wood, bro.
Well, Trudeau sold us out to China. Like we're fully sold out to China. He signed the FIPA deal. I think that's how it's pronounced, FIPA, for an investment protection something, where China can challenge our laws in Canada if it interferes with their profits.
Their business,
That is scary.
That's wild.
That is scary because watch 10 years from now and you guys still, in the debt, whatever, there's going to be, Chinese soldiers at your door saying, it's time to go outside and work.
They're already here. They're here.
Well,
that was a conspiracy for a little bit that there are Chinese soldiers on Canadian soil. And then they came straight out with it. And they're like, yes, they're training on Canadian soil.
That's crazy.
Well, Canada's full force.
For what? To take over the rest of Canada? Yeah, cool.
Canada's full force.
Or come to the United States next. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot about that too. That they're hanging out near the border for an invasion and whatever else. The thing is that people are so brainwashed. I don't even know that they'll have to invade or create any kind of war or martial law or anything like that. These people are willingly giving it up. So, I go on Instagram and people are like, "This is bullshit. Take away more of our rights." Like they get mad.
Though, like with all that, with people, I hate saying brainwashed or manipulated or whatever.
But it is.
People are so conditioned to think a certain thing that it gets to the point where when people talk, when we hear things about, oh, there's an invasion of this, or they're coming over here, or there's some type of these secret, blackout wars. All that's happening while we're going to and from work every day, listening to the radio, listening to our iTunes. Like, that's not stuff that's just like, oh, we're all going to notice it taking place. No, like that. I feel like that certain things do happen behind the scenes in real time that we're just not aware of. And when you're saying like you said, like the Chinese truth, oh, it's a conspiracy. Like, no, like they was there already, and they're like, yeah, the game's over.
Well, all of these things were once a conspiracy. Epstein Island was a conspiracy once.
Exactly, that shit's real.
And I heard that.
It's real.
And I heard that conspiracy, even the word conspiracy in the term was was created by the government, just to give the people. CIA. Yeah, just to give the people, talking and opposing them a name, just to say, okay, this is who the enemy is. Like, this is who they're, who the people we gotta look out for. But either way, it was after the Kennedy assassination, right, where they coined the term conspiracy so that people would shut the hell up, and it worked. For a while, and it worked. It just all it was is confusion.
But that's another thing where a bunch of people died. A bunch of people died that were connected to the JFK. I don't know if you guys ever looked into that. It's like the Hillary Clinton thing. You go through like all the lists. There's like 50 people that were supposed to be in court, heart attacks, like all these random things, like just dead. So that no one knows what happened. It's a bunch of.
Do you think we'll ever know the truth about any of this shit, or we're just gonna have to go on a
when we die, maybe, I don't know.
Well, what's the whole thing with like declassifying things like 50 years later or whatever they do? But it's like, are they even declassifying what they're really trying to tell us? Like, I don't even know. Like
I don't know. Maybe the whole point of that, because you hear people say that, you'll be like, for instance, Pfizer is corrupt. Pfizer's one of the most corrupt companies. They had the biggest healthcare fraud settlement in U.S. history, and people are like, that was before. That's their only argument every day. That was before. None of that's happening anymore. Science is good now. All the stuff is good now. We know everything now. We're good to go. It's interesting because it's like the same cycle over and over again, and
it sucks because you still want like good science. You still want to make advancements, but
there is good science. There's a lot of good science. These people just
corrupt side of it.
Yeah, they're not getting the grants. So the people doing the good science.
Yeah, that's what I feel like it is, and it's just I don't know. I feel like at the end of the day, when I'm looking at all this, there's not much that gives me hope. I'm like, we're gonna be okay. Like, no, it's like this shit that we're having. We're just
we are. It's just things do have to get pretty dark first, is what I've always believed from the get-go. You don't get good things out of nothing, right? So
how much darker does it have to get? I mean, we're in the midst of a pandemic. There's lockdowns. There's there's businesses shutting down. There's
just keep your mind positive and you're good.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I'm in my house all the time. I bunker up. I know we're allowed to leave in Florida. I bunker up, man. I don't go too far.
Yeah.
I know. I have people that message me and they're like, you are so dangerous. You're going to kill people. I'm like, I was a hermit in lockdown before COVID. I don't even go anywhere. The people that get mad at me, they're out and about doing more things than I am. They're like, you got to stay home. And I see them at a park. I see them getting their nails done. I see them at their friend's place. And I'm like, I don't even go anywhere.
Like, y'all see me right here every day. It's not like I'm at the park doing my latest episode. Like, I'm here in the room. Like, y'all see me.
I know you're always there because you're checking my stories
all the time. I remember that time, bro. I send you her stuff.
Yeah.
It was one day. I mean, I think I might have sent him half your page. I was like, yeah.
He's like, dude, leave me alone.
I was like, we have to make this happen because this. I was like, she knows. I was like, what she's saying is what everybody needs to hear. But either way, I was just like.
I got one more question. Have you heard about the billionaire from Alibaba, Jack Ma, that's been missing in China? Chinese.
Yeah.
Did you hear
I
about
haven't been paying attention to much in the past couple of days.
Yeah.
So I did see something about that and I'm like, later. I'll do this later. So what's going on?
It's actually really interesting because they were going to come out with the biggest IPO in the stock market history. Is like $37 billion opening, which is absurd. And he came out and said something against the Chinese government. And they shut it down, and now he's been missing for 2 months. And he's like the 4th richest person in China.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah,
that's crazy though. To think like someone that rich, like if that happened here,
that's like Jeff Bezos going missing, or like Zuckerberg going missing for 4 days. Like, people will be losing their shit.
Yeah, good point.
And that's 2 months. He's been gone for 2 months. No one's seen him for 2 months. And
Maybe he's in hiding. You never know.
hopefully he is. Hopefully he went to a private island and got out of there. Because there's other like billionaires that I was reading from China. Yeah, there's other billionaires from China that have escaped.
They're sweating right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bro,
well, a lot of people honestly, are going missing. Have you seen this Tiffany Dover, the nurse?
No.
Who just disappeared off the face of the earth? She was one of the ones that was publicly vaccinated. She fainted on TV.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
You remember seeing that one? She's
been
gone for like a month. People are she ended up gaining like 40,000 Instagram followers because people are just now following this girl to be like, where are you? And she used to post like once every couple of days.
She's not a real person. She's not a person. She's not a person. She's not a real person, bro.
Because a lot of that stuff is fake too. A lot of that is like crisis.
All of that. And because when I saw them, when people we're getting the vaccine on camera,
on news.
The first thing I saw like a day later was, that's a fake syringe. Like the needle's not coming out, it's going in. I'm seeing all these people have fake needles on Instagram. Yeah. So I don't know what that is, but if it did, give her some fucked up side effects in real time when they gave that shit to her, then that's also bad for business for them.
But you know why they do that? Because they can't legally advertise the vaccine. They can't legally but they can do like a little monkey see, monkey do show, right?
So
they can't force us to take it. I mean,
for sure. And
this is the thing. A lot of people talk about that. Don't worry.
No, I literally just got a call. I got a call from the NBA, or not NBA, from my team doctor, like just a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah,
and I told him about it, like, because it's at the end of practice, and we all bring it in. The coach is in his last couple words, and then somebody from the front office was like, "Yeah, you guys are gonna be getting a call from the team doctor. You guys have to meet. It's gonna be like a couple minutes, yada yada yada." I'm thinking he's gonna be talking about season physicals or testings or results of something or whatever.
You got a cough.
I get a call. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, whatever. I get a call from this guy, not a call, a FaceTime. I get a FaceTime from this doctor. I didn't even know he had an iPhone. He calls me. He was like, hey, Terrence, make sure all is well. I just want to let you know that I did get a COVID vaccine and it's been a couple days, and I just want to let you know I'm doing fine. And I was like, I got caught off guard because I'm like, bro,
why are you telling me?
I was like, okay, so it's like, what do you call? Like, what's the call about? And he was like, yeah, I just wanted to tell you. So, if you have any questions, I'm like, first of all, nobody made me aware that you guys are going to call me about this.
Secondly, the last person I'm going to ask a question about a vaccine to is a doctor because they don't learn about it. They do not learn about this in medical school. It drives me nuts.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm just like, okay. He's calling me like he's a grandparent who just got surgery, and I'm supposed to be calling him on. I forgot or something. But then now he's just like, yeah. So I'm just like, okay. And you tell me it's been 2 days. I'm like, do you think that I was worried about what was going to happen in 2 days?
Yeah. Call me in 10 years, buddy, and we'll see.
Thank you. I was like, and I mean, I like the dog. He's a cool guy. I was like, but this ain't even, bro. I was like, I'm going to wait as long as I can to take this vaccine because I have no idea what it's going to do to people. The first thing that I'm hearing about is people getting this weird Joker smile. Nah. And I asked him, was it a Pfizer vaccine? He's like, yeah. I was just like, oh, knock on wood. Good luck, doc. I was just like, I was like, don't shove that down over here, bro. I was like, I can't. I got to go, dog. The babies are crying. So I was like, that was weird. I could have done without it. And then that right there kind of gave me an uneasy vibe because now I feel like, of course, the NBA is not going to make us take this vaccine.
Well, it won't be mandatory in
no,
the
it's
sense
not going to be
that
mandatory
they're going to force it into you. They're not going to let you do anything. They won't let you fly.
Exactly.
They won't let you go to
they're
work.
Gonna let,
they won't let you go to
they're
the
going to make us
store.
do 1,000 tests before you come to the gym. They're going to make you jump through 1,000 hoops and all these other hurdles, whatever.
It'll be the haves and have-nots, right?
And that's what one of the nurses said to me. She was like, yeah, like, well, if you get the vaccine, you probably won't have to do a bunch of this testing. You just go back to almost like not normal life, but go back to pretty much some type of normacy where we can just go in and out and not have to wear a mask. Well, I'm just like, come on, man. But what's I don't know the price for that. Like, we don't know what's going to happen.
I ain't selling my soul to go to Costco.
And I hear exactly. I was like, I love food too, but I'm doing well with Uber Eats and Postmates.
You got to start a commune, man.
It's just tough, man. It's because it's like you said, where it's the government is a divide and conquer thing, and right now we're just super divided in a ton of different ways.
And you think the mask thing is bad? Soon it's going to be, the anti-vaxxers.
The card? Are they going to give us cards?
Because they're going to start. Yeah, they're going to start pulling this. The reason we can't go back to normal is because of the anti-vaxxers. And
Propaganda 101.
that's going to push people over the edge even more than the mask thing, right? Because they're going to actually believe we could go 100% back to normal. It's a fantasy. It's never going to happen. But we could go right back to normal if you guys all just did this thing. Why won't you do the thing? So it's going to get
it's going to be
pretty
fun.
hairy.
This is what our kids are going to probably think the world. Like, this is normal for them. Like, oh, yeah, it was just a vaccine. Like, no. It's like,
you got to shelter them from the shit, man.
It's so hard. It's so tough. My brain is like melting just thinking about it daily. If it wasn't for basketball, I would be in a room with no windows, one light, and just clutched onto a gun and a computer, just waiting for shit to go south. I'm telling you, this shit is bad, man. Like it's so much shit. Yeah, like
no, come on, there's hope. There's hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
For sure. Definitely.
I mean, it might be after we die, but it's still there, you know?
Exactly.
Which is like, God damn, I want to at least give us some. I want to know about what happens after death. It has to be. I just give me like that 2 minutes of just okay. You know everything. You get 2 minutes to know absolutely everything. You get your 2 minutes for questions, and then you just go off into nothingness. That will be better than just not knowing. Because it's not gonna be like shit. I was right about this and wrong about that. But it is what it is. We'll figure it out. We'll find out. We're getting
yeah, it'll be fine.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. I mean, this is awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
I know we started rambling and getting crazy, but
yeah, it gets. Yeah, I know. It's just like
look. I'm in the darkness.
Rabbit dog.
I know.
See that?
Yeah, I know. It's so fun. It started to go just down.
It's probably so bright where you are. The sun's shining.
Florida, flat Earth, baby. Yeah, we gotta do this again. We definitely have to get a part 2.
Definitely.
Oh, we can get so much. Like we just scratched the surface.
We just started getting going. We just knocking the rest off.
Watch
tell us where they can find you on your. Yeah, tell us where they can find you on social medias. Plug all your social medias.
Okay, so I'm on Instagram and YouTube. Whatsherface. I guess I have to say underscore Whatsherface underscore.
The Whatsherface with all the followers. Go to that one.
Yeah, just put in a couple underscores in Whatsherface in any order.
One that seems like people are following it, and it's not right.
For sure. But yeah, thank you again for coming. This is great. We gotta catch up.
Body this.